Всем привет! И с вами снова я, Полина. В этом видео я предлагаю вам прогуляться со мной до офиса Анастасия. Мы много с вами спорили, как называется этот бренд, как ответила сама хозяйка, сама Анастасия. Ей все равно, как вы будете его называть. Главное, вы знаете, о чем вы говорите. Будет это Анастасия, Анастасия, Анастейша. Не все ли равно? Главное качество, то качество, которое предлагают ее продукты. Сегодня вместе с бьюти-редакторами Allure и Harper с Bazar, видеоблоггером LizaOnAir, которую вы все так хорошо знаете, мы прослушали подробную лекцию о коррекции бровей. Перед нами положили толстую книгу с описанием линейки продукции Анастасии и четкой инструкцией по ее применению. Также нам дали пенал со всеми необходимыми продуктами при создании красивой брови и начали инструктаж с описания аксессуаров, ножниц и пинцетов.
Trim the brows at home. They're very nice and sharp. They give really great precision to trim the brow and give a nice tapered cut to the eyebrow hair, so it doesn't create a sharp line.
Обсудив ножницы и пинцет, Сара начала свое описание продукции с карандаша Brow Fix.
So we want to go over the eyebrow before applying any powder with this product. You can also use this under dip brow. You can use this as a primer with any of the brow products to really help to smooth down any hairs and also to grab powder in areas that are a little bit more sparse and that we need structure.
Далее нас посвятили в таинство правильного выбора оттенка теней для своих бровей.
A lot of times when choosing a brow color, you always want to look at obviously their hair color, but you also want to look at their skin tone. If someone is very fair or light-skinned, you don't want to put a very dark powder on their skin. It's going to be too bold. So I always like to start it off a little bit lighter and slowly build the color with the powder and then our brow wiz, gels, all that sort of thing. And also what's fantastic is if you use the brow fix first, it'll make the powder a half shade darker a little bit. So you could get away with using the blonde if you did that first to kind of build the color. Dark brown is the next shade. That would be for someone that is brunette, that has, more dark hair, but they also have olive in their skin tone. If they're still very fair, but they have dark hair, we want to make sure that we're still keeping the color a little lighter because that dark color on top of light skin would be a little too overpowering and we don't want to give them too much brow. As you notice too, all of the powders are double-sided. There's a light side and a dark side. So you can mix to customize your own color. You can use the light powder in the areas that already have hair, and you can use the dark side on the areas that need a little bit more definition. Caramel is the next color that I have on the palette, and this is going to be great for any redheaded clients or anybody that has very warm brown hair. It's a fantastic shade too to kind of warm up any eyebrow that's gone a little too ash or anything like that. And then we have Ebony, which is very, very dark. This is great for someone who has very dark skin. If it's blank there's no hair, then we can fill it in with a little powder. We'll add a little bit of brow wiz, and we'll actually extend the brow, so that way it kind of opens and lifts the eye. Right here at the beginning, and I'm gonna lay it flat right here. And I'm making sure that this line here is straight with the ground. That's the best way to kind of, right? Yeah. So now I take my blend, my spoolie, and I lightly, and then I go back in and I fill in this little area right here. There's always going to be a little mark there when you remove the stencil because that's where it's held together so it doesn't get stretched out. To use this brow wiz is to keep it on its side and to run color through and feather it through. Do you see? Rather than doing it like this, you want to take it on its side and do it like this. This is going to make the product last longer and it's going to give a more soft and natural look. So a lot of times women use it like this and then it runs out in like a week. So I always recommend that they add on a powder so that way they can get a little bit more color that way. And then they use this as a precision tool to perfect the eyebrow. So always recommending you kind of use it here on its side, and then there's a spoolie on the end to really blend that color through is really fantastic. So I'm going to take that through and just kind of draw this line underneath to really get a little bit of definition, and then I'm just going to blend that up. So this is what's going to really make my eyebrow precise and perfect. The powder will give us a great shape to start with the stencil, and then I like to go in with it. If you hold it to the side and go through like this, it kind of moves the hairs around, so then you're placing the color on the skin.
So
rather
than you're like on the skin.
Correct. You want to place the color to the skin. The color that you can place to the eyebrow is done with the brow gel, which we'll talk about next.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a great way because you're really creating your base. So you've done your powder, you'll do your whiz or your pencil, which I'll show you, and then you kind of gel everything together with our tinted gels. Well, I've already filled with the powder, so then now I'm just adding areas that need a little bit more. So you can go in and fill, or you can define, whichever you choose. But it is easier if you add it on with the powder, so that way you're not working so hard. Perfect brow pencil. So these are our traditional eyebrow pencils.
Карандаш для бровей, представленный во множестве разных оттенков. Medium brown, dark brown, soft brown, taupe, blonde, and caramel.
This is a fantastic product to use just by itself. So if someone loves a eyebrow pencil, but you know they have a lot of area that they need to cover, they can use just this rather than the brow wiz, because like I said, this is more precision, but you can use this all over. It's kind of a preference.
О, и наконец-то мы подобрались к гелям для бровей. Я использовала гранит, но Сара посоветовала мне использовать карамель.
So you want to think of your brow fix as almost like a pomade for your hair. You kind of put it in to get some texture and, you know, place it where you want it. And then you're going to use hairspray to set your hair. This is going to be like your hairspray, and your brow fix is going to be like your pomade. So kind of thinking it as a couple different ways. Like I said, there's lots of different products and there's lots of different ways to use them. So hopefully you guys can have some fun new tips and tricks today. So if the color is perfect on the eyebrow, say you've placed your powder, you've placed your eyebrow pencil, everything, and the color is perfect how you want it, you can use the clear gel to set it. Also too, say like we said the tail is earlier. Say the tail is a little sparse and you need to kind of fix something, you can almost fill in above and then brush the hairs up to kind of hide it. So that's kind of a fun technique using the brow gel. So if she had sparseness here, I could fill it with color and then brush the hairs up to almost do like a shadow to hide the holes. So you kind of can play with the hairs and manipulate things so that way we mask any sparseness.
После подробного описания действия геля для бровей нас познакомили с Brow Pen, своего рода заменой айлайнера в мире бровей.
So it's kind of like one of the tools we can use if someone requests a waterproof eyebrow. We have a lot of new things that we've come out with recently and different things to help waterproof the eyebrow, but this is a really great tool for someone that wants a quick fix. Something, you know, they want a little bit more texture in the brow, but they don't want to use maybe the dip brow because it seems too complicated.
Ура! Наконец мы добрались до Brow Enhancing Serum, средства для улучшения роста волос.
I leave mine by my toothbrush so I don't forget. That's a great way to recommend it.
It does support for lashes.
The thing is it is safe to use around the eye. We don't necessarily recommend it for that. I always say, you know, save it for your eyebrow. But it is tested, so it wouldn't bother the eye. We haven't tested it clinically on the eyelash. Correct. Yeah. So 100% of clinical users saw results when Anastasia did testing. So yeah, 100% of people saw some sort of growth. So that's kind of encouraging. And I used it myself, and it worked for me.
Сегодня я узнала очень много нового о бровях, о прорисовке бровей, и поспешу как можно быстрее с вами поделиться своими знаниями, пока я их не забыла. Мне посчастливилось, и сегодня коррекцию бровей мне сделала сама Анастасия. Я впервые испытала на себе коррекцию бровей с помощью воска. На самом деле это безумно удобный, быстрый, а главное, качественный способ коррекции бровей.
Close your eyes, 'cause I need to...
На самом деле это было для меня абсолютной неожиданностью, и сейчас вы увидите мою реакцию. Даже так? После того, как Анастасия провела коррекцию моих бровей с помощью воска, она их прорисовала с помощью Brow Wiz карандаша, моего любимчика. Но использовала она не Medium Ash, который я обычно использую, а Dark Brown. Неожиданный цвет, но он, мне кажется, мне подходит, учитывая то, что теперь я стремлюсь к темным корням.
To fill that in, you use only the powder, but I will tell you exactly without that. This is how the shape of your eyebrow is. You have beautiful arch, you have beautiful brow bone. You need stronger eyebrows. Your eyebrow needs to end right here. See?
Если честно, это был второй мой опыт, когда я доверила коррекцию бровей кому-то еще, кроме себя самой. И вы знаете, это был достаточно приятный и полезный опыт. После восковой коррекции формы моих бровей Анастасия пририсовала и заполнила мои брови. Слегка непривычный для меня вариант, так как я не привыкла к длине брови от переносицы до дуги. Я делаю ее слегка короче, от начала роста волос. Анастасия же выбрала линию от носа кверху. Здесь сделала начало, прорисовала тенями и с помощью карандашика Brow Wiz в оттенке Dark Brown начало бровей и заполнила впоследствии всю бровь, используя только карандашик Brow Wiz и Deep Brow. Залог правильной коррекции бровей в том, чтобы правильно наметить точки построения брови. От края носа, кончика носа, перпендикулярно брови, начало брови, от кончика носа через зрачок это изгиб брови и от крыла носа через внешний уголок глаза это конец брови. Второе правило это постоянная растушевка нанесенного средства, будь то тени, карандаш или гель.
But you blend slightly. You don't want to remove. If the pomade will dry, because I left one sample, I wanted to see how it is. Put a drop of oil.
Для того, чтобы сделать контур бровей более четким, Анастасия использовала карандашик Eyebrow Pencils. Это основа под макияж для глаз и корректора в одном. Я обычно использую для этого карандаш Brow Duality. В это видео я постаралась сложить максимум полученной за сегодняшний день информации. И в последующих видео я расскажу вам о коррекции в бровях, уже делая эту коррекцию самой себе перед зеркалом и перед камерой специально для вас, пока я сама не забыла всю полученную информацию. И также я расскажу вам в отдельном видео о продукции Анастасия. Отдельно буду показывать и тестировать на себе разные варианты карандашей, лайнеров и теней для бровей. Ну вот и все, я с вами прощаюсь. Надеюсь, вам понравилось это видео. Если да, то ставьте пальчики вверх, забирайте это видео в избранное, подписывайтесь на мой канал и следите за мной в моих социальных сетях, в Фейсбуке, ВКонтакте, на страничке ЖЖ и, конечно же, в Инстаграме. Я хочу пожелать вам всего самого наилучшего, как можно больше карандашиков Анастасия в вашей косметичке, всегда красивых, изогнутых бровей и, главное, отличного настроения. До новых встреч! Пока!